Hello, friends. This is Ask a Yogi, and my name is Nayaswami Hriman. I have a letter from somebody here let's just check, in the USA. And she writes, I saw a negative entity twice in my dream, and I have reasons to believe the entity is attached to my sister. My sister mocked me in the past for my spiritual experiences that I have shared with her, and I don't think she will therefore believe me. Besides, we're not on speaking terms anymore. What is my karmic duty to share what I saw? Well, I want to expand this into the whole issue of negativity, whether entities or not. Plenty of negative people there who have bodies, not to mention the ones that don't. But I said to her, in this case, your go-to is prayer. Your sister doesn't want to talk to you. She's not going to believe you. Don't waste your time. But prayer is very effective if what you saw in your dream, what she saw in her dream, is indeed a negative entity. And as far as from where I come from, which is a very ancient tradition, why not? All the great masters accept the reality of disincarnate entities, some nice and some not so nice. So along those lines, maybe her dream is true. So I mentioned to her at the end of her meditation period each day, surround her sister in light, and visualize her surrounded in light. And Yogananda, in his tradition of yoga from India and the yogic path, taught a technique for one's own protection of taking the hands and swinging them back and forth, touching behind the back and coming forward, back and forth, chanting the Trinity in Sanskrit, which is Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat. Om would be the spirit of equivalent of the Holy Ghost. Tat would be Son of God, Christ consciousness, and Sat would be Father. Father, Son, Holy Ghost is chanted in reverse in Sanskrit, Om Tat Sat. Okay. He gave other techniques like if you feel attacked by someone's negativity, negative magnetism, under psychic attack, write the word AUM on your pillow before sleeping, because in the subconscious somnambulant state you're more vulnerable. Or if you know how to write the Om symbol on your pillow, that's good too. He shared a mantra from India which goes Ring Kling Krishnaya Namaha, Ring Kling Krishnaya Namaha. The kling consonant in Sanskrit sort of breaks energy, stops energy, like that. You'd have to write to me to get the details. Another one is to cross of your thumbs represent willpower, crossing your thumbs, not to harm the person who might be psychically abusing you or attacking you, but to reflect that energy back. Okay, not to do harm, but in self-protection. He also said that have a spiritual buddy. Make sure you're hanging out with people with strong spiritual magnetism. Avoid people who you might think intending to hurt you psychically. Avoid them if you can. Many times you simply can't. And in that case, keep to yourself as much as possible. Don't make the mistake, if your magnetism is weaker than theirs, of praying for them. Just keep them out of your aura. Okay? It's important that during such times you have extra time for prayer and meditation, that you keep yourself clean, so to speak, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. In terms of things like entertainment or places you go, you want to be psychically strong, being centered in yourself, and so on. So I suggested that in the case of the person who wrote, that she Might even chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. I'm not going to share that right here. It's too involved right now. And then I said, if you go more in the direction of Christian practices, you could mentally, at that point in meditation, address the entity, visualize your sister and address the entity, saying, in the name of Christ, Son of God, I command you to leave my sister. Repeat that at least 3 times in recognition of the Trinity. Things like that. I certainly do believe in cases of possession, and who cares whether I believe it? The great ones tell us it's true. Jesus obviously said it was true. Paramahansa Yogananda as well. So, but more to my point for your purposes is the all too common psychic abuse. You have stalking, you have internet abuse, emails and texts and things like that. So you need to be strong spiritually and live more at this point between the eyebrows. Hang out with people who are strong spiritually. Avoid those who are not, or who might intend to harm you. Don't engage with them. I think that covers the main points of psychic protection. Nothing to be afraid of. If you live in God consciousness, you have nothing to fear. Okay? Call on Christ, God, Yogananda, one of the masters, if ever you do feel vulnerable. And where your mind goes, those are demons of self-indulgence, pornography, violence, revenge, indulgence in, food and sex and all that stuff. Those are the things that weaken your aura, that open your aura to negative influences, whether entities or not. So, a life of prayer and meditation and service to others, without thought of self, these are the simple ways that can protect us. We see in the lives of saints, however, that as they approach their goal of God communion, then the negative forces can actually take human form or animal forms. And again, nothing to be afraid of. But Paramahansa Yogananda said, I add my testimony to those of saints of East and West when I say that the satanic force is real and can take. Look around you, look at all the forms of delusion that human beings take, who are basically, some of them, not many, thank God, who are actually Satan in human form. You don't have to look far. So consider negativity in whatever form as a real force, and you're playing with such things, and your mind attracts their power. It's not just in your mind. Okay, nothing to fear.